Welcome to this podcast. Kirsten is bringing me questions today. We actually see people asking when they find me on social media the things people wonder but are sometimes too nervous to ask. Whether you're thinking about buying or selling and found me through social media, this one's for you. We want you to enjoy, and we look forward to hearing your comments below.
So, Mellie, I'd say most people are hesitant, nervous, or apprehensive to reach out to an agent they only know from Instagram, TikTok, or social media in general. Can you relate to that? And what would you like to say to someone who might be following you and feeling one of those ways? I would feel nervous, like if I was a first time home buyer, or even like when I buy again, I won't be a first time home buyer. I'd be a second time home buyer. I would be nervous looking for a real estate agent online. I wouldn't know how to reach out to somebody on Instagram. So I feel like,
Yeah. Well, recently I just met some of the coolest families, and I would say the way that they reached out to me was just either commenting on one of the videos that you enjoy and saying, "Hey, I'd like more information," or just even sending us a DM of, "I would like more information on the home," or you had a couple of questions to ask. The way I like to handle it is sometimes the biggest thing of like when you are hiring an agent or hiring someone who's kind of in sales is that you're like, man, if I ask them one question, I'm going to be on their radar, and then I'm going to be on their spam list, and then I'm never going to have peace and quiet. And that's not what I want. I want to do business to others the way I want business done for me, and that's I need some time and space. You're going to hear me say that a lot. And so if you just have questions about buying or selling, whether it's in a month or in a year or years down the road, ask the questions, and we're here to answer them. And we're not going to like go after you, if that makes sense. We're just going to let you ask the questions until you're ready to say, I would like to find out what the next steps are.
how did how did our past two clients your past two clients that you got from social media, how did they reach out to you for the first time?
Yeah, so one of them was a friend of a friend. So she already knew who I was. And we hadn't really seen each other since like 2017 or 2018. And she still had my number and goes, "Is this still Mellie?" So she saw me on TikTok, then reached out to me via text. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, long time no hear." Then the other one was a client who reached out to me and was like, "I'd love to tour this house." And we got to talking on the messenger, and then we met up for coffee.
Messenger on TikTok?
Yes,
Okay.
on TikTok
So she
Messenger.
reached out to you through TikTok Messenger.
Yes, and we got to talking, and when we felt like it was both right, then we met for coffee, and it was great. And now they're in contract on their dream home. So we definitely want to do it at your pace. And then I'm here. Yep.
Yeah. So simple. DM,
Yep.
comment.
Yep.
What if someone might be feeling like they're going to look dumb? Like, what if someone doesn't know what a pre approval is? What if someone doesn't understand escrow, lending, title, any of the lingo? What if inspections scare them? Do they need to know any of that before they come to you?
Yeah, so I would say no, you do not need to know any of it. And one of my favorite things to do is do a 1 hour buyer consultation. It doesn't have to be exactly an hour, it could be a little bit less, it could be a little bit more. But I like to do a buyer consultation and kind of get to know, like, what do you want to know? Like, are you the type that wants to know the whole process and be hands on in it? Or are you kind of like, tell me as little as I need to know and just help me get the house? It's all about being adaptable to your style and adaptable to like your needs so that you feel empowered during the process. You feel the most peace during the process. It's already stressful enough to either buy or sell your home. The last thing you need to worry about is your agent, if they're on your side or not. And so we're here to be educational and supportive. And I really love explaining the process. I have a great guidebook that you get to take home with you. So we go over it together, and then you get to take it home and kind of digest it on your own. And then I'm also available here if you're like, you know what, I had a question I didn't think of, and now I have a question. And there are no stupid answers. Even when I started real estate, it took me a while. It took me many transactions to completely understand the process of everything. So it would make sense that there's a lot of buyers and sellers that are going to be, whether it's your first time or second time, maybe you haven't even done it in 5 to 10 years. It might kind of all brand new. We're renewing contracts almost every few months on the MLS. So it's like we are constantly needing to always understand the updates. And so if you haven't done, a purchase or sell in a few years, it's always good to have a refresher, and it would be fun to go over together.
I feel like that's one of the reasons you're paying your real estate agent for is you don't have to know everything. Your agent, you know, is educated on all those topics.
Yeah, the way like we've talked about in another video too is that like I I want you to be in the driver's seat unless you're absolutely like, I'm tired of driving. But if I'm in the passenger seat reading you map directions, then I'm helping guide, but ultimately it's your decision to make, and I'm here to support that decision. And I don't ever want you to have to worry about my feelings when you're making big decisions on your biggest investment of your life.
I think one of the biggest resistances people have towards real estate agents and salespeople in general is they don't want to feel pressured. Once it feels like a sales pitch, people are out. How do you work with people so it never feels like that?
We just be people together, right? And we just have conversation, and we show up as ourselves. And that could even look like for me, where I've had clients who are like, I want to buy land, and I'll let them know, like, land is not my forte. So I can refer you to someone who's really good with land, or you're going to have to kind of take the wheel a little bit more with land, and I can tell you what I do know and what I don't know, or find the resources. But it's nice to be able to tell my clients where I feel really strongly about, or passionate about, or I feel like I have, um, I can't think of the word, but basically the knowledge for it, or if I feel like
Expertise.
thank you, expertise, or if I'm lacking, that vulnerability to me is what makes us human, and it's what helps connect us to not having to overcompensate for ego, or that I don't feel like I'm good enough. And I forgot exactly what the question was. It was about like pressure, right?
Yeah, how do you work with people so it never feels like you're trying to sell to them
Yeah, and then at
and
the same
pressure them?
time, here's the thing with houses is like, let's say you're buying a house and we're going to look at houses. My goal is to not sell you that house. My goal is to get to know what house you will support your life. And sometimes I actually try to talk people out of houses, because I'll be like, your whole body language is a no, right? I also don't like to be people's parents. So if they're like, I still want it, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's look what that looks like. So I will let people. I like to be informative of like, here's all the things. Here's my professional opinion. Here's the concerns of this house, or here's potential inspection issues we might find. I'm not an inspector. We would get it inspected. Um, but then we make the decision together, and the buyer or seller, is the one who's really the decision maker, and I'm there to support it. And so I'm not going to be pushing people into a house. I hate that. I don't like settling. I love when my like,
I was going to say that. I was going to say one thing I know about you, and you just said to me the other day, is you don't ever want your clients to settle.
I hate that word. And there's so many times where like I've gotten a client who was like, I used to work with this agent who was like, you need to just pick a house, and I'm like, ugh.
I had an agent who told me that when I was looking for a house. She told me I just needed to pick one.
Yeah, I want long-term happiness. I'm in this for the long game. I want to build relationships with my clients. I like when my clients become friends. We don't have to be like super close friends. If you're like, no, I just want you to be my agent, that's it. That's fine. I like to just bring a pie once a year if that's okay. If that's not okay, that's okay too. But permission, safety, all of those things are really important to me. And not settle. Yeah, find your dream even within your means. I think there's a way to find the home that really suits your lifestyle.
I think just the fact that you don't want people to settle is what makes you different than a salesperson. I feel like we touched on it in another podcast, but like I was just car shopping, and I feel like all the salespeople they wanted me to settle. They wanted me just to choose that car.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes you different.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is a big one.
Okay.
Whether someone wants to buy one of these beautiful Tacoma homes they see on your social media, or they're thinking about selling theirs, so many people assume they're not ready or buying or selling is just out of reach for them right now. How do you help someone figure out if buying or selling is actually realistic for them right now?
That's kind of like one of those, like, one answer doesn't fit all. It's like one size does not fit all. So this is kind of like where those consultations, where if you're just curious and you just want to ask a bunch of questions on Messenger, or if you want to meet in person, have coffee without the pressure. Just one of the recent ones was like, hey, it's probably going to take me a year to find the house I want because I want to be really picky. And I'm like, absolutely.
One of the recent people that reached out to
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
And so that's okay. Just communicate what you need, and I'm there to back that up. And so, um, kind of to go back to your question, is that there isn't one answer for everybody. We go over your goals. We figure out what support you need through those goals. Is it talking to a lender? Is it talking to, different financial advisors? It just depends on what the situation is, and we can discuss together. And that way, we're putting you on a map to your goal at your speed. It's like the game of life. You get to choose which directions you're going, and we can help do it together. I do think support and guidance is helpful. I've recently even needed my own guidance and some financial advice, and it's like having someone who's there to support you, and that they have your best intentions at heart. It can really get you further, right? Like, I've gotten a lot further this past 6 months because I was able to finally find the financial advisor I felt safe enough with, because I was like, I have ADHD really bad. Sometimes I look really messy and disorganized and someone could judge me. But like, when you find the right people who like make you feel very comfortable, you can accomplish anything. You can conquer anything. And I'm like literally like feeling that on my own, with something I'm working on too.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a guide or a coach. If we could just reframe real estate agent to like a real estate buying and selling coach or a guide.
Yes. We're here to be a guide.
Yes. Let's say someone is watching you and they're ready. The first step, we touched on it before, but I want to be really clear for people.
Yeah.
How do they actually approach you for the first time? And we DM, comment. What is the number one first step for someone to reach out to you?
Yeah, either DM, comment on a video. Hi, I would like some more information, or I'm ready to take a next step. Then I'm going to respond back and say, thank you for messaging. And I'm going to say, would you like to get on a brief call? If you don't like phone calls because you're more introverted, we can text. And then we can decide what the next steps looks from there, of like either talking to Ellie, my lender, who can help get you pre-approved, or we can work on like a buyer consultation. And so we can kind of discuss within there, like, what is your goal, and what the next steps look like to map that out. So I would definitely recommend, if you're ready to do next steps and you don't need it as informal, then we do have a great client questionnaire. We have a generic client questionnaire, and then we have one specifically for buyers and sellers, and they're right within our website. They're easy to find.
Link in bio.
And you can fill it out, and then it gets sent to us, and then we can reach out. And if at any point you're kind of like, never mind, I wish I didn't do that, just let us know, and we'll be like, okay, cool, we're here when you're ready.
So feel free to reach out to Mellie at any time, DM, comment, or fill out the client questionnaire we have, and Mellie will reach out to you. I know that Mellie usually says goodbye to you guys. Our mics died, so she's not able to do that. So I will be saying goodbye for this episode only. We're so grateful that you guys are here and are listening, and we cannot wait to see you on the next episode.